Yo, 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 welcome. I just realized my mic was muted, so I had to quickly turn it on. But welcome everyone into another live stream. Obviously, we've got a very exciting day because we do have the beginning of the end. I guess that's one way to put it, beginning of the end. With the first part in the final Flash storyline, which is very, very exciting. So I'm very interested to see what people are looking forward to, and maybe any theories you have. If you were here in the live stream on, was it not yesterday, the day before, I think it was, we talked about some weird ass theory that I'm like, ooh, I wonder if that could happen. So I'll bring it up again, just see whether people have had a couple of days to linger on it and see what's cooking in your brain and see whether you think that it could happen. I don't know if it will. It might not make any sense, but we'll bring it up again. But welcome everyone. Hello Liam, hello Alejandro, hello Henry, hello Path, Raymond. I think I got it right last time. PB&J, Willish World, Random Fandom, Beyond J, and everyone else. Sorry, I just don't want to read everyone. I just want to scroll all the way up. So welcome everyone. I haven't done this in a while, and people actually pointed it out to me. When was it? It was not on the stream a couple of days ago. It was last week, and I forgot to say it the other stream. But where's everyone from in the world? I used to always ask that in the at the beginning of streams, and I've completely forgotten to do it for the past month or so. So yeah, where's everyone from in the world? I'm always curious. I can see that Urban says greetings from Poland, so obviously that's always a great thing. Is your name rememberable? Well, it's just Liam, so it's not that hard of a name to remember. But then again, there's a lot of Liams. That's the issue. There's a lot of Liams in the world, Liam. So I might get you confused with another Liam. There's a guy on Twitter named Liam. I'm pretty sure that always complains about the show. Sort of funny. They always tweet him in like, I'm not a writer. I can't change anything. France. Oh, I love France. Italian. Ooh, very European today. Brazil. Dominican Republic. I don't know why I was going to say Africa. South American there. Or was it Central America, Dominican Republic? I'm usually good with geography, but I think it's... Anyway, we'll just say the Americas. So hopefully that's not offensive. Canada, South Carolina, Pennsylvania. Where's Philadelphia? Philadelphia's in Pennsylvania, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, I had to remember. There's two cities in Pennsylvania. I can't remember the other one. I know one of them's Philadelphia. I think I remember that you're from Algeria, Lord. I'm pretty sure you mentioned that before. Or maybe there's someone else from Algeria. Maybe there's multiple people from Algeria. I'm not too sure. But yeah, today's episode is A New World Part 1. I'm very excited. I know that there was a what do you call them? Like a preview clip, sneak peek, or like preview clip, whichever way you want to put it. I'm not going to watch it. If it's not spoilery, you can just tell me what it is. But I'm not going to watch it, if that makes sense. I sort of, with this sort of like last sort of thing, I just want to watch the episodes as they are. I don't want to watch sneak peeks and stuff. It was more like for like those other episodes where I didn't have, I wasn't overly excited for them, if that makes sense. So yeah. But yeah, I do. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Oh, I might have a guest that pops up in like some period throughout the stream, but we'll wait and see. Let me just get that off my screen right now on this other screen there. Okay, awesome. Paige, are you excited for the Flash movie or the last 4 episodes? Like, am I more excited? Probably the final 4 episodes of the TV show. I'm very excited for the movie, but I'm still worried about whether the movie, like, how do I word this? Whether the movie means anything. If it's just like a spectacle, but I don't know if it means anything. Like it doesn't, because I know what's happening with Ezra Miller, and I don't know if this story even they bother continuing it. So it's just like some contained, like almost Elseworlds thing because they're not continuing with it. While the Flash show has 4 episodes, like 3.5 hours pretty much of content there, and it's wrapping up something which I've been invested in for years. So I'd probably say the TV show, but I'm still very excited for the movie. It's just a question mark on whether it matters, if that makes sense. In this episode, we see the blue crystal we saw last season. Yes, we got it was in the trailer. I don't know if it shows it in that sneak peek thing. I'm not too sure. Yeah, that's the thing. I did see a photo of that Levi. So Levi says the sneak peek has Iris with the big belly. So does she have it last episode? Because she was only on screen for like what, 2 scenes? So Is there a time jump? There might be a time jump. Maybe that's why they did that episode randomly with Barry and Oliver, because then they could just do a time jump. Because she looked like, I saw the photo and it looks like she was like decently along, at least like maybe only a month or two away from, popping, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm not too sure. But I do want to thank Josh Darby. I did see the super sticker before. It disappeared. Where is it? It's the hippo. I think it's a hippo going woo or something like that. I think it's a hippo. So thank you very much for that, Josh. Obviously, throughout the stream, if you do want to get a question or opinion 100% answered or read out, whichever it is, you can super chat. But once again, no pressure. It's up to you whether you want to do it. Hey, Pagey, they should make you a custom Flash subscriber. I will not be hitting 1 million subscribers. The fact I hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel is insane. I will not be hitting 1 million. I can tell you that. How good was Grant? But I do appreciate the sentiment. How good was Grant and Steven again? Best episode so far. It was definitely the best episode this season. I don't know if it will be the best episode overall. I just have a feeling this episode could be, but I just have a feeling one of these final 4 episodes will be the best episode of the season. I don't think it will be the finale though. I don't think it'll be the finale at the very least. How do you watch the show? US TV Go. You got to take US TV Now. So US TV, instead of Go, you put Now as in NOW.com. That's how I watch the show live. So yeah. Thank you, Josh, for the super sticker again with the controller. I guess very excited as well. Hi. Hey, Pagey, I heard shirtless Pagey defeats Cobber Blue. What are your thoughts on this? Okay. A bit of insight. And look, we might do a special. Well, no, I'm going to catch you guys off guard. Shirtless Pagey was going to make a cameo in this stream. I don't know if you can tell, but I just had a shower before the stream, and I've told you before, I like to just walk around shirtless after I get out of the shower. I don't like putting on a shirt straight away. I was sitting here with about 2 minutes to go, so Shirtless Pagey was going to make a cameo, and I was going to turn the camera off and put my shirt on. So I teased you with that one, so it might return in a stream or two. We'll wait and see. Did you have to buy something to see the episode tonight? I'm subscribed to the thing. It's like $11 a month or something, but you got to remember I watch Flash and Superman Lois on there, so it's worth it in my opinion, if that makes sense. It's worth it in my opinion to do that. Sorry, what was this thing? Where can I watch the sneak peek? I think you can just look it up. TV promos DB, maybe. I'm assuming they usually do it. They usually are the ones that upload it. Wait, what's this? Oh, why don't you have faith or hope? No, I didn't say that. I just don't think it'll be the best episode that we get in the final thing. Because the series finales just usually aren't. I definitely didn't say I didn't have faith or hope for it. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see like Zoom and Savitar and Godspeed Reverse Flash, Color Blue, all there. I can't wait for that. I'm super stoked for that. Cannot wait. Do you want to see Grant Gustin and Savitar again? I don't know if we're going to get that because of what that thing that Grant said where he said, oh, I was going to do it, but then was it COVID? And then I couldn't do it. So I'm like, well, are we going to get anything like that? Because he just referenced as if that's just a scene between him and Hunter Zolomon. There might be a scene where we get to see that again. But I don't know. Did Grant fake COVID so he didn't have to do the pizza face makeup? Maybe. I'm not too sure. Tonight's episode will probably be the best of the season. I think it will be like, the most emotional of the final just because of the setting, and also it's something that people have wanted to see returning to that night. So I think it's a mix of like emotional and also like maybe like satisfaction in regards to people have been waiting to revisit that since like season. Well, I don't want to say season 2 because we went back there on season 2, but like maybe like season 4, 5 or something like that. At least specifically these past couple of seasons, getting towards the end. Do I agree Doom Patrol is overrated? It's not for me to say because I'm not the biggest fan of Doom Patrol. I didn't mind I did like the first season a lot. I didn't mind the second one, but it just got a bit weird with me. It was sort of like an R-rated Legend of Tomorrow. It just got a bit too weird for me. But it's hard for me to say because I haven't watched it all the way through. I think I only watched the first or second episode of season 3, so it's hard for me to comment on it. Is Iris pregnant with twins since it's the last season? That's one of my predictions is that one of the twists is that she's pregnant with Nora and Bart. and maybe that's a twist there, and that's like the change up of them. Because I know how earlier she got pregnant. Was it 2 or 3 months, something like that? When does it start? No, it doesn't start for another hour and a half. Doesn't do people not? You might be from another country. I was going to say, yeah, you might be from another country. Yeah, it doesn't start for another hour and a half. We won't be streaming the episode, so if you're here, just to give you a heads up, we're not going to be get the channel taken down. It's a one-way road to a copyright strike. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what is the one thing you're looking forward to the most? Is it just the setting, like Barry going back in time? Is it seeing potentially Cobalt Blue or just stuff to do with that blue crystal and it's getting that set up? Is it just seeing Eobard Thawne or Matt Letcher's Eobard Thawne and Reverse Flash specifically? Is it maybe a twist that gets put there? I'll bring up the twist again just because I sort of teased it before. The twist I was thinking could happen in the end of this episode, and if you're in the stream from 2 days ago, you'd know that I brought this up. What if the twist is that instead of Eobard going in and killing Barry's mum again, which we've seen multiple times already, that he actually succeeds in killing younger Barry, and that's the twist, and that's why Barry gets maybe stuck, because we know next episode Barry's still stuck in time. He can't get back to the present day, and like Iris and Team Flash and stuff, like where the hell did Barry go? Like he isn't back yet. That would be a pretty crazy ending. Even if I'm like thinking like, oh, that's a possibility that it could happen, I would still be shocked if it happened on screen. I'd be like, oh my god, they actually did that. Yeah, I think a lot of people are excited to see Matt again. Even though we only saw him last season, like towards the end of second last episode he went away. So he's there for like 2 or 3 episodes, the end of last season. But yeah, wasn't that basically Armageddon? Yeah, but not really, because they just told us, they didn't really do anything with it. So you actually have to like do it. And maybe that's because they couldn't get Matt Letcher to do Armageddon. So it's not really specifically Armageddon because it's a bit different. And also it'd be a bit of a twisty McTwist. We always love a twisty McTwist. What was the thing I saw that? We get evil Matt now, not nice Matt. I guess so, yeah. It also seemed to be confused Matt, because he was like, oh, why the hell are we back here? What's going on here? Season 8 ruined Matt Letcher's Reverse Flash to me. No, to me it showed a different angle of it. It showed like a what if. Like what if Eobard didn't have that obsession? Like what if Eobard didn't have that obsession? That's what Eobard would be. So I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that at all, because they didn't say that was the proper Reverse Flash. They were just saying like that's just a what if situation. Like if they said that was the Reverse Flash that Barry's been with, or versed in the past, and then that happened and he had all the memories and stuff, I would probably agree with you. Actually, I definitely agree with you. But they made it clear that was a Eobard with a different point of view. So I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was actually pretty good. But which versions of Reverse Flash is this one? This would be, so I think we talked about it the stream a couple of days ago. So the earliest version of like the youngest, that's the best way to put it. The youngest version of Eobard Thawne we ever saw was in season 2, when he comes back for that one. Is it episode 10 or 11 of season 2? It's 10. I think it's 10 or 11. Might be 12, but it's one of them. Like just after the mid-season finale or around the mid-season premiere area. That's the youngest version we've seen. Episode 11. Okay, episode 11. That's the youngest version we've seen. And then the next youngest version we've seen is, I guess, the one that's on the night of Nora's murder. So it's going to be the one that we see in today's episode. So that's the way to view it. The one that Barry's going to be hanging out with, I guess we can assume, maybe there's a bit of a change there, but from what we can assume, it's going to be the one that goes on to kill Nora, but aiming to kill Barry at on that night. So yeah, that's the version of Eobard that we're hanging out with. Are you going to do a reaction for this series finale? I'll probably do a reaction. I'll probably just upload. I think I'm trying to remember what I did with Arrow. I'm trying to remember what I did with Arrow. I know with Arrow I'm pretty sure I did a finale reaction. I think what I'll do is I'll do a normal video, like as I normally do, and then I'll probably record a reaction while I'm watching it, and I'll just upload that like maybe the day after, something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did a reaction to Arrow, but I'll probably just do a normal video like I normally would. as well, which will probably be the first one. But that's like what 3 weeks away. So I'll think about it when I get closer to that date. I don't like thinking too far ahead. How do you think Cobalt Blue ends? Will Barry have to kill him? I think it depends who Cobalt Blue is. I think it depends who Cobalt Blue is. That's the difference there. Sorry, just let me scroll up here. I thought I missed something. Reverse Flash needs a Speed Force. He lost the Speed Force the night he killed Barry's mum. Same if he kills Barry. Depending on who puts him there. Because he seemed confused. If you've seen the trailer, he's like, what are we doing in the year 2000? Like, what are we doing back there? So, like, I don't know how Barry gets back there. I'm assuming he gets because as I said in, I think my trailer breakdown, but also the stream a couple of days ago, I was like, I doubt Barry runs back there willingly because he seems confused as why he's there. So maybe he touches the blue crystal or something. I don't know, something like that. But then maybe that happens to Eobard as well. So they both get zapped back there in whatever way, or transported back there in whatever way it was. I think he was being sarcastic. Maybe. That's obviously an option. It is Eobard Thawne. He could be like, well, what are we doing back here? Like, oh, I didn't know why I'm back here. I'm not acting sus. He could easily do that. But then again, we've heard the story before where when they ran back. So I think we heard it in season 1, or was it season 2, that they traveled back through time together. So that's not happening in this situation. So it's a change up from the story with it. Am I wrong with that? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But they traveled back in time together, because didn't they come through the time stream at the same time, and then ran to Barry's house? I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a special dude. I'm not surprised. YouTube notifications are terrible. At this point, they may as well get rid of the subscription box. There's no point for it. Hello, Fernando. How could Rick Cosner have a long lost son? What is that is old enough to be a villain now? Wasn't Eddie? Eddie was 30. There's a date for his birth because it's on his tombstone. I think it is. Eddie was born in. He was like 30 something in season 1. Eddie, hold on, let me look it up. Eddie, I'm up today. Eddie Thawne. He was. I'm going to say what day he was born. It's on a tombstone. There's that tombstone set photo, and it shows how old Eddie was. He's like 30 something. So he was more than old enough to have a kid. That could be old enough now, especially if the kid's in like 2049 or something. So I think Eddie was like 30 something. Yeah. No, Eddie wasn't late 20s. He was like 30 something. I know. Hold on. Let me look it up specifically. Give me 2 seconds. Because this, as I said, it was the reason I sort of went along with that theory even more. Hold on, let me just do something quickly. Start that. Don't worry, readers. I've saved you a little your super chat, so I can answer it just in a second after I find this. He was born in. Why is this taking 27 years? He was born in. God, this is like, I don't know if this is the web page that's being slow or it's my internet. I have no idea, but it's really frustrating. Hey, Paige, I'm about to post a vid. Any time recommendations? Do you mean like when you should post a video? Probably just post it anytime. So he was born in 1983. So when did he die? The Flash came out 2014, but he would have died 2015. So he would have been 32. Eddie Thawne would have been 32 when he died. So that means he would have been 18. No, 17. 17 in the year 2000. But like, as I said, he could have had the kid anywhere from, any up to the point he was 32. And then in 2049, that kid could be 35, 40 years old or something like that. So that's where my theory comes around, where Malcolm Thorne could be his illegitimate son. And I think it makes sense if you look at it that way, especially with what happened to Eddie. So yeah, he was born in 1983. That's when Eddie, and he died, born 1983, died May 19th, 2015. So he was 32. He'd already turned 32 by the time he died. Do we see Rick this episode, do you think? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure we do at the very least. I'm pretty sure. We did get a super chat from Raiders with a €6. I think that's euros. Yeah, it is. Prediction! ! This will be a top 5 episode of the series. Whew. That's a bold. I'd say definitely top 5 episode of the season, because I don't know if it'd be that hard of a thing to do, but I guess it wouldn't be that big of a prediction. I guess if you just said that, top 5 of the season. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell. I haven't watched the episode. We'll definitely have to tell once the episode starts, because, or hits around, because I'm very interested to see whether it's just in the past. I don't think it will, though. I think we're going to be going back to the present day, just because they're probably like, where the hell's Barry? But I think it's going to be. I think this could be one of the better episodes of this final, or one of the best episodes, if not the best episode of this final storyline. Just because it's just the setting, and it's sort of what people have been waiting for and stuff like that. I want the twin brother story. Yeah, I can't agree with that one, Simulator. I hate that. It's so. Yeah, I can't agree with that. I'm sorry, mate. I can't agree with that one. What was the thing? I saw something up here. He would have been in his 40s this season. Eddie? Was it 2023? Yeah, he'd be 40. No, he'd be 40 now, because I think it was January he was born in, I think, from what I just saw then. January, yeah, he'd be 40 now. So as I said, like, if he had, and that's the thing, it depends if it is a future thing, but it makes it much easier in explaining, what do you call it? That like how did Eddie come back? And also, I don't like the thought of Eddie now becoming a villain. He died a hero, now he becomes a villain. It's like ruining a character, in my opinion. Pagey, read the behind the scenes section of Eddie Thorne's Arrowverse wiki page. Is there anything of interest there? Is there actually? I just had a look. It was pretty long. Behind the scenes. Is there anything of note? I'm not too sure if there's anything of note. What in reference to the behind? I've seen the behind the scenes stuff before. Is there anything of note that I'm not seeing here? Yeah, you might have to let me know. There's a scene in the trailer where Joe asks Barry who he is. Maybe that's set in relatively present day, and he never brought Barry up / met him as Eobard successfully killed him. Wasn't Joe wearing his beat cop uniform? I think he was wearing his beat cop uniform, so I don't know if that would be the case. And Barry looked like he was wearing the same clothes. I mean, it could be. I don't think we're going to go back to the present day, though. I think we're going to be like time traveling along with Barry, whether it's in the past or the future, but he will be out of the present day. But then again, I don't know. I have a feeling there's going to be a twist, maybe like an Armageddon style twist at the end of this episode that sets stuff up and makes it very unsettling, if you want to put it. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I think there's going to be a twist. As I said, it could be something crazy where younger Barry actually gets killed by Eobard, or it's something else. Maybe it's just some different actions. Maybe it's what Barry does throughout this episode in regards to, just being there. It's a whole butterfly effect situation. Can you stream after the episode ends tonight? No, I'll be doing I'll probably stream. I might stream tomorrow on Twitch, maybe. It'll either be tomorrow or the day after. Depends what I'm doing. Actually, I might do it tomorrow because I don't know. You'll see it. You'll see it if I go live. You'll know. Yeah. So Barry's still missing in the episode 11 synopsis. It said with Barry still missing. I think that's what it said, or something like that. So that's why I think he's still stuck in time, whether it is still in this period in the past or maybe in the future. We're getting Michelle and John back as Barry's parents. Going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do there. I don't think I can. Do we have to see Nora die again? I don't know, maybe. I'm not too sure. Paige, do you think it would be like Oliver's season 8 multiverse travel, but instead of multiverse, Barry will be traveling the timeline? Maybe, but unwillingly. You know what I mean? It seemed like back then, Oliver. Oh, I guess in episode 1 he wasn't. Didn't he just wake up there or something like that? I think he just woke up there, didn't he? I can't remember. So I guess that wasn't willingly either. So maybe, I guess, to an extent, but this one seems like it's more of an issue because that was like the monitor testing him, wasn't it, in Arrow? But this one's like just, I guess, potentially Cobalt Blue just messing with Barry's head. How have I already seen the episode? I haven't. Did I say something that was meant to, that gave the suggestion I've seen the episode? I haven't seen it. For those that don't know, the only episode outside of ones that leaked, because I don't know if anyone remembers, like during season 6, I think it was, there was all like, they had like a month in a row where all these CW episodes just leaked online. Like that, they didn't leak, they were like just uploaded early because like some stations or something got them early. So like Flash, Supernatural, Legends, no, not Arrow. It would have been like all of them just went up online early. It was crazy. So you could watch like one, like I think it was like in the back half, one episode of The Flash aired 2 days later on the weekend. The next episode was there. So people were watching them like 5 days early. Yeah. And then some guy got his channel taken down because he started uploading clips of the leaked. Yeah. It was one of the stupidest things. It wasn't during the pandemic. It was during season 6. But yeah, I've not seen the episode. The only episode I've been given of anything Arrowverse, like here's an early thing for you to watch, and I got to watch it 2 days before it came out, was the first episode of Crisis. So Crisis Part 1, or Crisis on Infinite Earths, might I say specifically. I was given that. That was the only episode of the Arrowverse that I've been given. They must not like when I talk about stuff that maybe shouldn't be talked about. I don't know. Netflix is going to add it on Friday, so I've got to wait to watch it. That's only, well, I guess for me, that's tomorrow. For you, it's probably 2 days. Yeah, the Constantine episode of Arrow, that leaked and it had no VFX. Does anyone remember? Did anyone watch that? It had like it was like a screener copy that had been sent out, like I guess like a couple of weeks early, and it leaked a couple of days before the episode came out, and it had no VFX. It was pretty funny. I had some VFX. I had limited though. Like some just said VFX will be entered here or something like that. I'm not going to watch the sneak peek, Lloyd. I know it's out, but I'm not going to watch it. I mainly because I just want to watch the episode. In 9x10, is it possible that we will see season 1 Barry? Remember in 1x23, Barry saw his future self. Well, a lot of people think that he might. That's like, if we look, so let me just find an image so I have a reference point which I can go, look at this. Where is it? Yeah, oh, actually, here's a decent thing. So actually, I'll open that in a new tab. And I will open, can I find like an image where it doesn't have goddamn text? It's all this text. Oh, here we go. Okay. So we have, oh my God, that's small. Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. I had to get some pictures up so I can show stuff. Okay. Okay, so this is the original timeline Flash. That's, wait, no, that's not, is it? I can't remember. Anyway, it's something like that. Is that the right picture? I think it is. And he holds his hand up and goes like, no, don't come here. Whatever it is. So that's the original timeline Flash. A lot of people think our Barry's going to become that Flash. So it's going to look something like quick change like that. Something like that potentially. However, I think that depends on what the ending is. So people think that could happen this episode where we see our Barry slot into that position and he becomes that older Flash that tells the season 1 Flash to not interrupt. So you would see that. It'd probably still be blurred over, but he'd be wearing that suit. That's what a lot of people think could be the case. Let me like zoom in a bit more. Can I? There we go. Would people be happy with that? Because to be honest, I don't really care either way it goes. I don't think they have to do this, but you know what? I wouldn't mind. It'd be like somewhat fitting that our Barry in this final season would slot into that position if they wanted to do that. I think logically it doesn't really make that much sense because the original timeline Flash was one that never had Nora murdered. You know what I mean? So he was from a timeline where Nora didn't get killed on this night. And that's why he came back, because he was trying to protect his younger self, and then Nora does it, and then it ends up with Eobard getting stuck here. So logically, it probably doesn't make too much sense, but it's very important to remember we have that whole paradox thing going on where things can change timeline-wise, and it doesn't really affect too much going forward. But a lot of people think this might happen. But it'd be very interesting to see if Grant can like replicate it properly. But I think I wouldn't mind this. I think it'd be a pretty fitting moment. And you could obviously do like a side-by-side comparison between the season 1 shot, and I think they reused it in season 3 or season 2 as well, and then this shot here. And it would make that sort of like full circle sort of thing. It wouldn't be crucial. That's what I said. That's why I don't really mind. If it was crucial, in my opinion, I'd be like, well, this has to happen. To me, it doesn't need to specifically happen. But it'd be like a bit of a fan servicey moment, and I'll be like, you know what, let's go with it. I'd be fine with it. And Nora, as in Barry's mother, says, well, that's the thing with him walking around. I couldn't remember. I think in my trailer breakdown, I was like, I think it's her dad or granddad that she says Barry looks like. But people said it was her father. So I was like, okay. Well, I knew it was one of the two. I am very interested to see when Barry's walking around the episode, and he seems to be interacting with Henry and Nora, whether they go, hello, you look like my dad, and what's going on here? This is very weird. Why are you walking around? Like, I wonder if she'll say that. Comment Red, you said him calling Star Labs, but Star Labs wasn't a thing yet. Wasn't it? Was Star Labs not a thing back then? When did... So what was Wells doing? Oh, yeah, he was planning it, wasn't he? So I wonder who Barry rings. Because in the trailer, he's like, hello, what do you go? Like, oh, hello, I'm stuck in the past, or whatever it is. I think he rings probably Joe's house, maybe, because maybe it's the only number, because he rings on a payphone. I mean, if I asked any of you to say, like, someone you know's phone number off the top of your head, nowadays you'd have no idea. Back in the day when I was in high school, you could remember it because, like, sometimes you just type it in. I can remember my own phone number, and that's about it. I remember my own phone number, and that's about it. And my grandma's home phone. That's about it. That's the only phone numbers I know off the top of my head. Everything else, I have to go through my phone and go like, okay, ring this person. So, yeah, like he must be ringing Joe. I'm assuming he's ringing Joe because unless Barry has a really good memory in regards to phone numbers. Timeless Wells. But Timeless Wells is a weird situation because doesn't he only appear after this moment? Because he appears, isn't his starting point? Because he lives in a loop, doesn't he? So isn't his starting point when Eobard kills Wells, and then that's when Timeless Wells shows up, or can he go before that? I thought it was a loop sort of thing. So he can only appear, his time starts when Wells is killed and taken over by Eobard. Isn't that his starting point? And then it's all forward from that, and then he can go back to that starting point. But his starting point is after this episode and the events of this episode. It's like, I guess, the day after or something like that. Yeah, 2013 and 14 was the particle accelerator, because I think like they'd been working on it for years. But yeah, Star Labs hadn't been anything, because I remember they did that flashback episode where Wells was imagining making Star Labs. Do you think they'll reuse the fight from 1/17? Probably, I'd assume so. I'd be very surprised if they did something completely new. And even if they needed to, they could just like change the VFX up where they put Barry's suit in there, like this new suit, if they need to. I thought it was the other way around before Thorne even kills him. No, because didn't he? No, because doesn't he get reincarnated from the? I can't remember. No, because he gets reincarnated from the bones that from the body that Eobard buried. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out this season because he lives forward. I don't know. It's confusing. It's honestly confusing. I don't think they actually properly explained it on the show, to be completely honest. But my thought was that Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, but then Martin says he's with Tess, who dies in the car crash. So maybe he just goes back and forth because he also did some stuff. I think when we meet him he says he's been like the mid 2000s something, and that happens in the year 2000. Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing. Maybe I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch that episode. But he gets reincarnated from the grave. That's what I remember. So yeah, I don't know. He's timeless Wells, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Time doesn't really matter to him. Timeless Wells. Does Color Blue have cyan lightning? I'd assuming probably like whatever, like the color of the crystal, maybe like a lighter sort of color to, whatever they want to do there. It's very important to remember, as I said I've said previously, like he's not a speed star. At least in the comics, he's not a pure speedster, but he can take speed. So that's like a very important thing to remember. Hopefully we see the fight leading up to them running into the house. In the trailer, we see Eobard, or let's say Reverse Flash, running down the street, but then you see Barry and Eobard facing off. So I don't know if Barry stands in the road and goes, "Hold on, you're not going further." No offense, Willish Well, but I don't really listen to Andy's reviews. I've seen people link them to me, and he said like every Red Death episode was like a 10 out of 10. So I can't really trust that. But I have no idea how long this dude's been sitting down here. He's sipping on Gatorade. I have no idea how long he's been chilling here for because I've been looking at the goddamn screen. But we do have a guest. I'll remove that. Got my face on here. And we do have Eric's Reloaded. Wait, can I hear you talk?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. I thought I was going deaf because when you joined, there was nothing. Okay, all good. Okay, now you're trolling. But so you probably joined at like the perfect time because we're probably going to go for like another half an hour.
Okay.
Are you looking forward to today's episode?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to
yeah, no. I'm ready for this. Like this, it's gonna be. I usually go really hard on the shows. I like to super like nitpick everything, but I want to be entertained. I want like the next 4 episodes to be really, really solid. So
yeah, like a lot of people think this was the same thing. The same sort of like line of thinking where today's episode could maybe be the best episode of the 4 final episodes. And I've got so, like, I don't know. And I mainly like, you think in theory, you think the series finale, because we have all those, cool characters coming back with like Zoom, all them, Savitar, blah, blah, blah. But I just think this episode has that emotion attached to it and everything like that. So I think that's why I think this episode could be this. To me, this seems like an episode that'll be highly rated on IMDb, if that makes sense. And someone pointed out to me last week's episode, and I might get an actual visual reference for this, but last week's episode was the first episode since season 6. I want to say season 6 to get above an 8 on IMDb, which to me is bullcrap because Armageddon, like 3 of those episodes were above an 8.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think there was only one episode of Armageddon that I thought was a little weird, and even then it was still like it was like the last but it was still like above average for a Flash episode. So
it's an 8.7 with 1,100 reviews. I mean, today's episode hasn't even come out, and it's got a 9.8, which is obviously people just voting early. But yeah, so like I think this episode
they didn't release any promo pictures for this episode.
No, I was looking for them. I've been looking for them. It's like, am I going crazy? I've been trying to find them and I can't.
I did my video yesterday or no Monday, and there was no promo pictures. So
I'm wondering if they're containing spoilers or not.
I think so.
That was my like thought process around. I was like, well, maybe they're trying to contain stuff but then again, they'll just release like a promo image of like Barry going, "Ooh," or just staring at the screen or something like that. That's what they would do. But I have one question for you. As you can see on screen right now, we're just talking about it before you came in. Would you want this to happen in this episode? Our current Barry slot into that position from the, I guess, original timeline Flash.
Yes.
If you want to put it.
100%.
So you'd be happy with, is that something you want?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the reason why I got so excited about this and like last week when we first saw the trailer is the idea that we'll finally be watching this scene from the other perspective, because so far we've seen Barry back in season 1 where we saw our Barry watching this from inside the room, peeking through the door or whatever. And then we got to see the Flashpoint version, which wasn't actually this version. That was a different. That was when, you know, they had to go back with Eobard, and he had to let Eobard kill his mom and all of that. So we saw that, right? So we've seen those takes on it, but we've never actually seen it from the perspective of the Flash that tells Barry not to stop it. So I think that's why it's so exciting for me, because I want to see this. And a lot of people are like, oh, I want it to be the old suit. Why has it got to be this suit? We're post-crisis. Like, it doesn't matter. I want to see this scene again. I can guarantee you, if they do this, all the people who have complained that it's not the leather suit that we saw back in the earlier seasons, they're not going to care.
No, I think, and I think my only issue is that I don't think logically it makes too much sense, but I'd be fine with it. Because I just think it'd be cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, that just looks cool. And it seems fitting that you'd make our Barry that we're currently with season 9, the final version we're going to see, become that oldest version that we've ever seen.
Right.
Back from, I guess, those times we've been back
we
there.
gotta think, this is a Barry essentially 10 years older than he was when we first met him. So this is 10 years past, you know, that point. So this is an older. Can you imagine season 1 Barry knowing what he was going to go through up until now in season 9? Like, I don't think he could even imagine it. So yeah, this is the perfect like end cap on that storyline. It's -3 years, whatever. Yeah, I know there's a weird time, but essentially we're almost a decade out from where this was. So,
yeah, I understand like the original timeline one where like we saw in season 1, it's just a full-on red suit for the most part. It looks a bit like a lighter red, but then it has the white emblem. There's no gold accents and stuff like that. But I mean, like, just timeline changes, who cares, you know?
Would you want there to be like a cameo from Ezra's Flash to show up in the scene in the episode? Or?
He might be the one committing the murder, who knows? But anyway, we got box blocks with a rank the Armageddon episodes. 5 is my least favorite one. I think it's like, which is the one where we see, is it 2 where Barry finds out Joe dies?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 2.
Yes, that's what I say. 2 is my favorite.
I think it's 2,
1,
4.
Oh, 4.
Oh, no,
really?
no,
Okay.
2, 1, 4,
right.
3, 5.
Yes, that's it. That's the right ranking. Yep.
I think 2, 1, 4, 3, 5 is my order. I think I'm right in saying that. I had to figure out which episode was the one, because that episode where Barry finds out Joe is dead, and that whole episode leading up to that is like, I'm shocked. I don't even know what episode.
I think I gave episode 2 a 10 out of 10 in Armageddon. I believe that was my 10 out of 10 episode. It was episode 2.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I'm trying to figure out like season 8. Trying to figure out. See, Armageddon Part 2 has a 7.7 on IMDb. That's why I'll never trust IMDb, because that episode's like awesome from like beginning to end.
Yep.
But yeah, so you agree with my one? 2, 1, 4, 3, 5.
Yeah, that's my order. Yeah, that's my order.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for that box blocks for the super chat there. Do you really think we'll see the murder of Nora Allen from the perspective of our Barry? Well, I guess so. If he's going to be here, then I'd assume so. But then again, maybe he just runs off with his younger self. If we're seeing his perspective, he doesn't see his mum die. He just runs off with his younger self.
We're going to see our Barry save himself and then run back in and just tell this Barry not to stop it and then leave. That's what I think we're going to see.
Yeah. Or we go with my theory where young Barry actually dies.
Or maybe, because we know that he's stuck out of time. We know that because of the description of this episode. So we know that he's stuck there. Maybe this is the end of the episode. Maybe this is when he disappears, like he fades away, like he vanishes, and then we just see him reappear in present day. Maybe that's how it wraps up when he finally stops.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. I'm very interested to see what happens, because like it seems like there's going to be a decent amount that happens in this episode.
Yeah. Because keep in mind, one of the things that's been inconsistent on The Flash, for me anyway, is how they represent people being erased from time. Because sometimes we see them sort of fragment, like Thanos snap away, and then sometimes they just disappear. But we don't know the distinction between the two things. Which one is being erased? Which one is this, that, and the other? What if disappearing is not being taken away, but it just returns you to where you were in the timeline? And that would explain why our Barry might vanish and go back into, go back up into normal time.
Okay. I was going to bring up. So the thing is that I'm going to budge. I'm going to give in to peer pressure to, uh, maybe expletives. I don't know. We will watch the sneak peek. So if people want to watch the sneak peek, I've been told it's not spoilery.
Oh, okay.
I've been told it's not spoilery, but it'll get you excited for the episode. So
1 hour away. 1 hour away. It is 1 hour away.
Yeah, so we're exactly 1 hour away. So if you want to watch the thing, let me know. But we'll watch it in like 5 or 10 minutes. It'll be the thing to end off the stream. But yeah, so we'll watch it then and we'll have a bit of a reaction to it. So we're not going to watch it straight away. We're watching like 5 to 10 minutes. So I just got to find it because it's not on TV Promos DB, but I remember I got linked it on Twitter. Oh my goodness me! I've just seen a photo of Teddy Sears with long hair but no beard. It looks really weird. Really weird. Okay, I found it here. Okay, so I'll just make sure I have that open. Okay, sweet. Pause. Stop playing. Okay, there we go. Okay. What was the thing? So it was I had it up here. I got rid of it. Liam with the $5. Thank you much for that. Liam, go watch the clip and really focus. So he's talking about the season 1 clip and really focus on when he tells younger Barry to not come in and look at his suit right before he runs away. So this will be the Flash.
The only thing I will say that I did watch it recently, the only thing that's not the same is the boots are not gold. I think it looks very similar to this suit. It just doesn't have the gold boots.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to find. So the older Barry before he runs away. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's this color red. It is the modern color red. It's bright red.
Okay. So I'm not going to play the audio because that's always a one-way ticket to copyright claims. Yeah. Let me take share screen. Okay. So, Mom. Oh, sneaking. So it's before he runs away.
Right here. That looks very similar to the suit we have right now.
You could argue that's maybe like a bronze. You could maybe argue that's like a bronze sort of color there.
It's really close though.
Like, I think it's red, but you could argue it's probably a bronze sort of thing. So what was the thing? And focus on when he tells younger Barry to not come in and look at his suit right before he runs away. So that's this point right here.
Yeah. Well, I think the color, it's like right when it's bright red, that's the actual color. I think this is a reflection of the light from the window.
Yeah. What do you do the playback speed? Yeah, I mean, like it just looks like a lighter version of the current suit he has. I don't think there was too much. No, right before he turns.
That right there. That's good. That's a good shot. Look at that. That's really good.
Like, oh, do you mean like the back there?
Oh,
I mean,
wow,
he has
I didn't
the
notice
gold.
That. Yeah, it's got the gold stitching in it. I didn't notice that. And keep in mind, they had the white. Oh, wow. I never noticed that before.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what they do in this scene potentially. If they do this, it's to clarify. We have no suggestion that this is happening.
No, it's just what
we have no suggestion this is happening, but there's just a lot of thought that maybe there could be. I
want to point out also
something like this.
That flash suit that we see in that scene is technically the OG Barry, which doesn't exist in the timeline we're in now, which means that the OG Barry is our Barry now. Like that's the original Barry.
Yeah, so like this is like one of those things where the Barry from season 9 is sort of like slotting into something where it probably doesn't work, as I said before, but I know you can just argue Crisis is just the excuse there if you want to put it.
No, it is. So look, let me tell you my perspective. When Crisis reset the timeline or reset the multiverse, my impression based on that is that everything we knew from season 1 that has stayed the same is the starting point, right? That's the way I see it. So we don't know if the season 1 scene, this scene right here, looks this way in post crisis. This scene may actually be the Barry suit that we have now in this spot, and it always has been, because we don't know. We haven't seen it. We have not seen this scene since Crisis.
Yeah. I think the thing is, I'm going to wait and see if it actually happens tonight. A lot of people think it is, but as I said, it also could be something where it's even a bit different than this, because who knows in the post-crisis timeline whether season 1 played it the same way, whether Barry did exactly this thing. We haven't visited this night since post-crisis.
I want to see the Savitar suit tonight. I want to see him in the Savitar suit facing off.
What, just in the corner of this room, just standing there?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just here for all the Barrys are here. I'm technically a Barry. I had to be here in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, it would have been weird. So maybe that's what he does. I don't know. We did get another super chat from thank you very much for that, Liam. We get one from Cheyenne. He goes, I still can't get over the after party hashtag.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's for our eyes only. Want to put it. Paige, do you think Thorne will know that Barry isn't the Barry he knows?
But he is technically.
Yeah, right? It's like a weird one. Wait, so Liam says the part where he holds his hands up then leaves? This one.
I mean, what are we? Is there? Just tell us what it is we're looking for, because I don't know.
He says it when he turns and leaves. So there he turns and then leaves. Is it like the suit color? Is that what you're talking about there? So he's talking about like this specific moment there, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, clearly that's just an updated version of the suit they had in
and he runs away
2014. But it's a different color. There's stitching in it that I never noticed before, which does look a little bit like.
I think that the back stitching was always there, but you never really saw Barry from the back.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like I think there's going to be I think if they do this, it'll be pretty cool. I said I think a lot of people.
By the way, I don't want to see anybody taking like 5 points off because they didn't do this. This is clearly just.
Oh yeah, like definitely don't expect this to happen, but it's just like one of those things where it's just like, is Barry just because that Thorne has to do that? Like that's the Thorne that goes and does that. Does that. But the thing is that we know that the whole situation is that Barry and Thorne run back in time and fight.
Yeah.
So where's that Barry then? Maybe he realizes he has to be the Barry that has to go in there and, I guess, save his younger self.
And tell his slightly younger self not to stop Thawne.
Depending if he's there or not. Like, because you could argue the whole situation of, like, timeline-wise, I guess he would be. I guess he would be there. But I guess it depends on the point of view. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Thank you to Toe Senior for becoming a YouTube member. Thank you very much for that.
Thawne was going back to kill Barry. I think this might be when Thawne, because they always gave Thawne credit for realizing that killing Barry would have been a mistake. But what if Thawne isn't the one that figured that out? What if it's our Barry that has always told Thawne, you can't kill me because then you can't do this? Maybe that's what we're going to see in this episode. Maybe that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Ooh, it's a mind tingler, if you want to put it. It's a brain tingler.
I also want to point out that when Thawne talked about fighting an older Barry, he's probably talking about this one. Because how many times has Thawne fought against Barry Allen? Like, over the years. Like, a lot. He has fought Barry a lot over the years and always lost to Barry.
Yeah. But the thing is that this Thawne... Actually, well, we talked about it before. The season 2 version of Thorne that we saw is the youngest version, the one that comes back in season 2. He versus Barry at that point. He interacts with Barry, so he knows about flashback here. So then this version we're seeing here is meeting our Barry 7 years later, roughly. So he's already interacted with Barry, so knows him.
This version of Thawne cannot beat Barry. Not the modern Barry, not the Barry that we have right now. There's no way that this Thawne can beat this Barry.
I mean, it's a more experienced Barry, so...
And more powerful.
Sorry, a more experienced Thawne, might I say, but it's also a more experienced Barry.
Yeah.
So I would say Barry should win, but I don't think it's as far off as... Because it's also Thawne, and he probably is the most powerful thing he had. Or the most powerful he was.
Thawne loses his speed, though.
But he loses his speed after this incident. when this whole
So
thing
once
happened.
this happens, he's not a threat to Barry anymore because then he has to go and like redo.
He has to do the whole thing that we saw in season 1. Yeah. Cheyenne with the 279. Thank you for that, Cheyenne. Young Barry actor passed away, so would they reshoot scene? Well, the thing is, they could just redo it and just use VFX and stuff. Like as I said, I think what they might do, like, do I have it here? Like when they run through the, I guess not, because this is from Barry's perspective. But you know when they jump through the window. You know, when like they jump through the window together, is that like that shot? They could just use VFX to make that look like our Barry from the present day.
Yeah.
And then just redo that footage from season 1 potentially. If that's what they want to do. But yeah, they won't do anything.
The other thing is
like
they could just insert our Barry into the scene. It's not that hard to do. They could just put it.
It's not that hard to do. Like we've seen them, they can do that. So yeah, I like that.
The Barry in the room
that
got erased was during Flashpoint. You're thinking
unless the only difference is if they want to make it different. But the thing is, they have used another younger Barry actor before when Logan Williams, who was the actor who played Barry, who passed away, when he got too old for the role because he was like, I think he was about 11 or 12 when they did that thing. I was
going to say, right here, this comment, he couldn't have even done it anyway because he would be.
Yeah, so they actually recast it even before Logan passed away with another younger Barry to do those younger scenes. Like the Runaway Dinosaur episode, I'm pretty sure is that other Barry. Because they wanted like an 8-year-old or 7-year-old Barry.
And I see a lot of comments talking about the timeline, like no disrespect to Eric Wallace, but I'm going to assume that what we see in tonight's episode is technically how it's already happened, or it's how Cobalt Blue is manipulating the timeline, because Eric Wallace knows that the things that happened previously didn't always happen the same because of Crisis.
Yeah. Crisis cannot be excused for bad story. Did someone use Crisis as... I think Crisis can be used as just a reason as to why things are different, because we don't know exactly how this played out in the post-Crisis timeline because we never come back here. So they can use those that they want. But if they make an error where it doesn't even make sense regardless of that, and then they use Crisis as an excuse, then you can use that.
We don't know what they're going to do. So I can't say it's good or bad. We haven't seen the episode yet. But I will say that expecting everything to be the same pre-Crisis is going into it knowing that you're going to be disappointed, because we know that pre-Crisis stuff got changed. We know that for a fact.
Yeah. Season 7 and 8 would be the original timelines, year 1 and 2. Oh, yeah, it would have been, I guess, because of when he would have normally become the Flash. Okay, I thought you were saying like we're just going to make season 7 and 8 the first year for our Flash now.
I'm wondering, do you think Barry is going to lose his speed for a little bit of the episode?
I want to say no. I just think he doesn't have a reason to. The only thing I can think of is that he tries to go forward and he can't do it. He tries to run back to the present day and can't do it. So then he's like, well, I don't need to use my speed anymore. Or at least in regards to constantly. And he might be wanting to work together with people for certain things, so he just walks around normally. Yeah. And also there's no flashback here, so he might not want to draw too much attention to himself.
Yeah.
But then again, that didn't stop Bart and Nora back in the last episode from last season.
I want to say that he knows what can happen if time has changed. So I think Barry's going to be very careful about what he does and what he doesn't do.
Yeah. What was this? When the original Flash saved the younger Barry that night, where did he vanish? He just went back to the present day, didn't he? He just went, because he would have gone back to his timeline.
Yes.
It's very important to remember
they're thinking about the Flashpoint. In Flashpoint, they disappeared when they went back. When Thawne and Barry went back to that night, characters did disappear. That's
because they changed the events.
But it wasn't. It did not happen in this episode here, though.
Yeah, but on that, like the original time when he first went back, and there was no season 1 Barry, and it was just a straight up like saving his younger self and Earbud killing Nora. I'd assume he tried to get back to his original timeline. Mm-hmm. Now the question is, would that have worked? And I guess it depends on how long it took time to cement from those changes. Because Earbud hadn't been stuck back there at that point, because he was still in the house murdering Nora.
But here's the thing: that Barry that stopped younger Barry probably did it because of a Flashpoint type situation. Like he probably knew that at some point between 2014 and wherever he was in the timeline, that this issue happened and it would have screwed things up. So he went back to prevent that from happening, just like with Flashpoint. So it does. So I think he was just fixing something that had already happened.
Yeah. But I thank you, Shine, for that. We got some other super chats. Liam donated $2 and said, and Barry knows how to take his speed away too, in regards to like Earbard. But also Earbard might know how to do that to Barry because of like the negative speed force, sort of like you can cancel it out. So that could be a thing that happens as well. I'm very interested to see how experienced this Earbard is with his speed, because it's the most experienced one we've met.
Right.
In regards to properly using his speed at a decent power. You could argue the Flashpoint version, but like he only gets his speed so he can kill Nora. Like that's also, about it.
Also, this is a Thawne who doesn't have to get speed back. He's coming back at full power. This is him without having to like go through the process of pretending to give Barry his speed back because he's a good person and all that. This is the Reverse Flash at his most powerful.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get through these last super chats. So if you do have any more super chats to end off the video, feel free to chuck them through. But we will get through these, and then we're going to watch the sneak peek. I always like try to call it a preview, but sneak peek. Sorry, did Lambs. We got Heisenberg with the dollar. The euro. Thank you very much for that, Heisenberg. Not sure if you had a question or not. Captain J, will they tease Cobalt Blue at the end of the episode? Like seeing Eddie or seeing Rick Cosnett, might I say? I'd assume so, because he was apparently on set when they filmed this episode, but he wasn't seen on set. So there's a difference between, apparently he was there, and then that's actually seeing him. But then again, Matt Letcher filmed all this stuff outside, and no one saw him in this episode. So, everyone thought he was going to be in episode 11 or 12 based off what Eric Wallace said when the announcement was made. For those that don't know, they said he was coming back for this season after they'd done this episode. They'd wrapped the episode. He was, at least for episode 10, I don't know if he's going to be in episode 11 or 12. And from the looks of it,
he's going to be in a lot of this episode. He's one of the main characters in this episode.
I'd say he's probably the supporting character. It's him and, like, Grant's the lead, obviously, and then it's Matt Letcher right next to him. So pretty stoked for it. But thank you very much for that, Captain J. And then we had Toe Senior. Do you guys remember the Armageddon PED device that is made to fix any and all timelines or corrupt timelines? It is now Barry's boots. Your opinions? But doesn't that need to be like, that's when like there was control over it? Like, I don't know if Barry can like has mind control to his boots. I know they might use it in this episode, but maybe it's a way that Barry doesn't get changed, so he can still remember everything. He doesn't get affected by the timeline changes potentially.
I would suspect that's probably the route they're going to go, because otherwise, like, we also don't know if he's going to have his speed. Even if he's got the boots and he doesn't have his speed, he can't use it. So,
yeah, I think he's going to have. I don't think he's going to lose his speed. I think he'll have it. Just like be like, one, don't want to draw attention to yourself because there's no speed star back in the year 2000. I'm pretty sure they're in.
What if he tries to time travel with the speed and it hurts? Like he can't do it. Like it stops him, because we see him.
I think it's just going to be like
in the trailer. So
I think it's going to be like it was in season 6. It was the Crisis one when he tries to run back and gets hit with the antimatter wall.
That's what I think. Yeah, I think something.
So it'll be something. It won't be an antimatter wall, but it'll be something in that vein where he's getting blocked off from going back to his present day, 2023.
Wait a minute, Pagey. Wait a minute. So
usually when you say this, you say something stupid.
No. This is brilliant. This is genius here. What if that's what leads him to this scene? What if he's stuck and he can't go anywhere and he realizes that he has to make this?
He has a purpose. He has a purpose that he has to.
Because somebody mentioned a fixed point. If this is a fixed point in time that he has to do this, then he has to do it. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. I could see that happening. That might be something around that. Or maybe it's not someone saying, you have to save your younger self. But he figures it out as like, well, like events are meant to take place and I'm meant to be the one that does it. That'd be interesting. Yeah. I think Earbard's going to be the one that specifically pushes him, that he realizes he has to be the one that does this. Because he's probably like, well, you're here and there's not meant to be another version of me that's here that's meant to be fighting you. Hello, other me, where are you? and that
Right.
that other version never shows up. So that's pretty interesting. That could be what happens here. But last super chat before we look at this preview clip, I'll actually get it ready while I'll remove that. Stop screen. There we go. God, goddamn StreamYard. Okay. There we go. Okay.
The clip of Thawne running down the street isn't a new clip. It's reused from season 1 when Thawne loses his speed.
Well, maybe they're going to reuse it for a different purpose.
I would say that's probably okay. So I have a theory, like my theory about the suit thing, because we see Thawne wearing the original like old Reverse Flash suit instead of the one that was made more recently. And that makes sense because that Thawne is the same Thawne. But the reason why our Barry is wearing a different suit is because this is the Barry we have now. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of those scenes can be reused because they're just going to use footage from season 1, most likely, like you said.
Yeah, and I mean that could be the whole point. Is they're just doing the exact same thing where Barry runs off and this Thawne loses his speed, and then we see the pretty much once again the loop sort of starting together. I think there's going to be a lot of looping going on in this episode. A lot of like, oh, this is where the loop begins, or the restart of the loop, whichever way you want to put it. But here we go. So thank you very much for that. I'm a special dude. Thank you very much for that one. There we go. Get that off screen. Oh, did I miss your super chat algorithm, kid? I'm very sorry if I did. Let me try. Oh, I got it. Okay, here we go. Sorry. My bad. I was talking my mouth off. So my bad. That's not, yep. Apologies. The algorithm kid. What is Keown's role in A New World? Obviously, A New World is in the storyline. I think probably like convenient plot device, probably come the end of it. And I think you're probably going to see them. I mean, she probably did something pretty overpowered last week. And I think you're going to probably see her get maybe not ridiculously overpowered, but at least overpowered for one specific thing. I think it's probably, I wonder if she's actually one that maybe brings Barry back to the present day.
I was thinking that maybe possible too as well.
Or sensing where he is, and they're able to maybe use something, whether it's Jay Garrick running back in time and getting him, or something along those lines. I think that, or maybe you can maybe Spectre off screen communicates with her and says he's over here or something like that. It's going to be something along those lines. I think that's probably what it's going to be. Some sort of overpowered aspect, whether it's bringing someone back to life or sensing life. You know, something along those lines. That's probably what it's going to be. And may as well, but thank you very much for the algorithm kid. And then we had Ryan. I want to see Barry use the Blue Lantern ring. I mean, that. I mean, if we got Blackest Night, if we got Flash season 10, they did that. We could have got something crazy like that, or maybe I don't know, a blue cube, something along those lines. We could have got something like that. I don't know. I think if they did Flash season 10, or that was like the Blackest Night was one of the things that Eric Wallace said they wanted to do. I think the one that sounded the coolest was either the Despero Return or the Future, or the Forever War. I keep calling it Future War, Forever War. That would have been probably the cool one, just because you would have got to see different things. And I did see a couple of people asking if we're and I'll give my point of view and you can give yours. If we're concerned about Eric Wallace being the one that wrote and directed this episode. Yes. On the directing side, it doesn't really matter. On the writing side, it depends. Eric Wallace is either really, really good with his writing or very concerning. It's rocks and diamonds. That's probably the best way to put it. Rocks and diamonds. I'm going to I can get roasted for this. I'm putting my integrity on the line, whichever way to want to put it. I think this episode could be a diamonds. I think it's definitely going to be more of a diamonds than a rocks. Just because that's how I feel Eric Wallace's writing is, they're the rocks or diamonds.
Okay, well, I mean, here's the deal. The bar is so low from this season that I think if we just get a mid episode that's got some cool stuff in it, it's probably going to feel like a diamond. I'll be completely honest. But
yeah,
we also have the stuff with Iris and the Pulitzer happening as well. So let's hope that doesn't take up much of the episode.
Is that in this episode?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Thomas Pound co-wrote with him. Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, so they're like senior writers. I think it's him, Thomas Pound. I think it's like Sam something and Emily Polizzi. I think they're like the four head writers. And where can we Aussies watch the new episode of The Flash? I think it's on Fox 8 tonight. But if you want to watch it in 35 minutes from now, you have to watch it on ustvnow.com. That's where I watch it. Or yeah. But anyway. preview clip. We got Iris focusing.
Okay.
I
Probably
think
when
you
Barry
should.
goes. Is this when Barry goes missing? Is that what the clip is?
I have no idea. I saw. I played the first 3 seconds of it, and I saw Barry running in the background, so he's not missing at this point. So here's the preview clip. We'll have a watch. We'll have a discussion for like another 5 or 10 minutes afterwards, and then we will be ending the stream. But here we go. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to do things last minute.
You'd be happy. I'm trying to live in the moment.
The only thing I saw is that Iris has got a belly.
Speaking of,
I saw a picture of that
please
online.
give birth right now.
There we go.
Seriously.
Belly.
Oh
So
my God.
I'm assuming
Ready
there's
to
time
drink
jump.
wine
Holy
again.
shit. Yeah, this has to be a time jump.
You got this.
So, what's up with the tiny tech?
I'm baby proofing the loft with proximity based meta dampeners.
You're dampening our kid?
Dampeners? Didn't Iris get in
what if
trouble for
Nora
that? too?
accidentally uses her speed and gets hurt?
That's true.
Yeah. Oh God, my back is killing me. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
There we go.
My article, Nightmare Under Red Skies, has been nominated for a Pulitzer.
Wait, why are they acting surprised? They knew it was going to happen. Why are they
Right.
acting surprised?
Yeah.
And remember, even though we knew this was coming.
This is actually a pretty good West Allen scene, though. I
Call
don't
my
think it's
dad.
bad.
It was actually, yeah, like actually one that makes sense. Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, what the?
Barry!
What the fuck? That was Cobalt Blue, 100%.
I like, what the hell? Like it stemmed from him, like in the middle, and then went around. Oh god, a Walkman throwback.
Yeah, that's funny. April 00, so 2000.
Oh, yeah, we knew it was year 2000. Yeah,
That wasn't spoilery, but that was cool. So we get to
Yeah.
see how he's like.
wasn't too. Yeah, I was concerned when because the thing is, we knew that he was going to get zapped back in some way. I just want to have a look at it again.
It's like it looks like a thing on his chest, and then it kind of.
Yeah, it just sort of like stems from. He's like, God, if that's what the crystal can do, it's overpowered as hell.
Not
can
only
just-
that, but I want to point out that's a good effect. Like that doesn't look bad
Yeah.
at all. That looks really good.
Looks like it. I feel like Super Saiyan or something. But anyway, like
Wow,
he's like fading.
that's
It's like
really
a.
interesting. That's
It's not
really
even like a portal. It's like a. It's like an actual
teleporting through time.
transporter. Yeah, it's like a teleporter, transporter sort of thing.
Through
It's not
time,
even-
though. That's wild.
I don't know. This could be a theory. I wonder if this is. I know someone said it looks like Quantum Leap. I don't. Did you watch
It
that?
does a
Is
little
that-
bit. Yeah, it does. It does. But
I
no,
wonder if this is a
it's
way
not-
where you can transport and you're not affected by the timeline.
I don't know. I'm trying to see. It doesn't. The blue flame energy doesn't teleport. So I'm wondering, is this that, or is it a red herring?
I'm not too sure. It looks cool though. Oh, yeah. Why are people reading the? Have you seen the people reading the leaked transcripts over the past?
Somebody tried to get me to read it. I was like, I'm not reading.
I don't know why people do that. I find it really weird. Just watch the episode. Like, fair enough, you don't have any intention to watch the episode, I guess, but it's a transcript as well. It's not even the script, so it's just
Right.
dialogue.
So it
You don't
doesn't
get
tell
any-
you anything.
It
You don't
doesn't
get
say
any
like
context.
Barry walks into a room and sees a crystal on the floor.
Right.
Barry picks up crystal.
All it'll say is and then you're
It'll
like,
say
what?
it'll say like, yeah, it's I don't know why people read them. I find it really weird because it's you only get like half the episode. You get the dialogue and that's about it. It seems like a waste of time to me. I don't know. I find it a bit weird at least. But yeah, that teleporting thing, as I said, I wonder if it's something where it doesn't affect the timeline or something like that. I don't know. I find it a bit weird at least. But yeah, that teleporting thing, as I said, I wonder if it's something where it doesn't affect the timeline or something like that. I wonder if it's something where it doesn't affect the timeline or something like that. I don't know. I find it a bit weird at least. But yeah, that teleporting thing, as I said, I wonder if it's something where it doesn't affect the timeline or something like that. or at least your place in it. But God, that's
I will say
overpowered
this,
if Cold War can do that.
being able to basically teleport over 22 years in the past like that is extremely powerful. Like that's extremely powerful. Because keep in mind, Rip Hunter, the Legends, even the Flash, it takes a lot to be able to travel through time. Like you can't just do it easily. You have to learn how to do it with speed or whatever. This is just like a snap.
For people wondering about the transcripts, they're not leaking them. They're on like closed caption things. So it's for people that are deaf or have hearing issues or just want it on screen. So, you know, when you put on closed captions, it'll give you subtitles
I have them on
stuff
because
like that.
sometimes they'll say the name of a character that isn't like said in the.
Or sometimes you watch it because the audio is just terrible. It's one of the two.
That's true.
It's one of the two options there.
That's true.
Can you show the license plate again? It might have been an Easter egg. I'm not too sure. Where was it? It was towards the end.
It says forever free, and then it's got the date on it.
SKS 257. Is that an Easter egg?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
6Ks. I don't know. It might be an Easter egg. I'm not too sure. I got this on Twitter. So I got it from a guy called Kyle. He's like a Flash account. So that's where I saw it. So you can probably type in Kyle Lindecki. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And he had it on his account.
Yeah, we're 30 minutes out, 29 minutes out from the episode now. So
I'm half an hour away from the episode. Going into it, Eric, do you have any last minute predictions? Last minute predictions or hopes and dreams for this episode?
Let's see. I want a good episode.
Just a good episode.
And I want to see Matt Lesher as Evil Thawne again because they really like screwed up his storyline, I think, last season. So
wow, you agree with that as well.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with that. I think they actually did a decent thing with that version of Thawne. They showed us like a what if situation.
I just didn't like how that whole thing worked out. I felt like it was them trying to redeem Thawne a little bit. And I'm like, no, Thawne needs to be evil. Let's go back to that. Thank you.
Yeah. The website I use is ustvnow.com. So I might be able to add in the chat there. That's the website I use, ustvnow.com. Fully legal. It's like a military website for US people overseas. Yeah. I did see someone saying that who was it? It was Danielle. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. They said this whole season should have been about Matt Letcher's young Thawne versus Barry. I disagree to an extent. I think you could have done like a smaller arc in it, but I think if you want to choose a final season story, I think Cold War Blue works because they did some stuff with Thawne. I guess if you say like, not if you took out some stuff from season 8, then you could do that and be like, okay, well that's fair enough because they addressed some stuff in season 8, which I think if you did a storyline focused like mainly around that in season 9, you'll be repeating some points. But I'm very content with Cold War Blue being the final storyline, but I wish it was the entire season.
Yeah.
We still have 30 more minutes of Divorce Court. Trust me, whenever I go on to watch Superman, Lois, or Flash each week, I'm watching 5 minutes of Divorce Court. It makes you not want to get married. That's all I can say. Each week I'm reminded, don't get married. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully everyone enjoys the episode. I'll have my review up within like an hour and 15 minutes or so after the episode airs, maybe an hour and a half, depending on how goddamn long YouTube takes to process stuff because it's so hit and miss. Tomorrow I'll have my trailer breakdown for episode 11, which hopefully it's a very good trailer. And then I will have I might stream on Twitch tomorrow, but it might be the day after that. I'm not too sure. If I go live, I'll probably upload a video saying, hello, I'm live, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, everyone enjoyed the episode. Hopefully it's good. I'm very excited for it. And yeah, stay safe, eat your vegetables, drink water. But yeah, thanks for joining me, Eric. Hopefully you don't cry. Maybe? I'm not too sure. See ya.